I just like that little chapel. Rather sweet. Good morning. What's good about it? I'm being raped. I call this rape. I'm being forced to do something against my will in my own country, England. They took my very good, beautiful, powerful mobile, an 11 Max Pro. Fortunately, I've had the money to buy another one. Took my home, all my little home things, banned me from there, arrested me for actually getting my little home things, took my staff. You got to watch out for that one. You shouldn't mess with someone's staff. All because of the lies of one woman. I mean, I'm still in shock. I simply almost can't believe that this is actually happening. I know what I did or didn't do. So someone invents a complete lie. I thwacked their child with my staff. The police turn up and listen to this lie and arrest me. And it's just gone on from there. It's as if my spirit is irrelevant. My humanity. The fact that I exist is just being trashed. It's unbelievable. And it's just gone on like that. Time after time. 4 times I was arrested. I'm putting in the 999 calls to get these people off my back. They're calling me a paedophile. That is harassment. Massive harassment. And the police are doing nothing about it. There's got to be a reason, and I think it's because the police are into the same blooming drugs crap. I really do. And I'm not going to be popular for pointing that one out. I cannot see some woman who shall not have an adjectival pronoun from me just tells a pack of lies and she's completely believed, and my whole life has turned on its head. I hope in time to get over this monstrous insult. My films are generally, quite frankly, I think probably rather boring to most people. That's why no one watches them. I make them because I love God through Christ. I've got 3,500 films on 5 channels. I speak about my love of God through Christ. That's mostly what I do. And yet, in full public view, in an English court, which is open, anyone can come into those courts if they wanted to and watch the proceedings. That's one of the principles of English justice. And there it is. I mean, if I went back to Anik now, which is where I believe God actually led me, and I will go back in due course, boy, oh boy, where else am I meant to go? I've travelled the world. why should I stick around in this filthy, foul little England, headed up by an evil woman, the Queen, who's the head of the Church of England? Why can no one see that? It's evil, this country. In its bones, it's evil. She's the head of the army. How can you possibly lead a Christian church and also lead the army or give instructions or sign off the orders that your politicians can go and kill people in Iraq for oil? Now, God knows about these matters, absolutely. And there is trouble coming. This pandemic is not the only pestilence. There's going to be much, much worse. I don't know how it works, but my fingers found this passage it's in Revelation about the 1,000 years. Apparently there'll be 1,000 years of beautiful life when Christ, I haven't got it quite straight in my I must reread it to get it straight, but I think Christ comes and then lives, and the devil's going to be chained up in a pit of sulfur or something. That's the general idea for 1,000 years. And then all the dead will be raised, and it's in Revelation. It's quite difficult reading, really, to try and understand it. I mean, I've got to get over my injustice and do what I normally do, which is look outside in the world and think, what can I do to make this world a better place? For my passing, I mean, that is my attitude to life in general, quite frankly. So somehow I've got to come to terms with my current circumstances, get my head around it, and come out smiling. I don't want to keep talking about this crap in my personal life. It's crap. But I haven't dealt with it properly yet. It's hanging over me like an evil cloud. I have feelings, I exist, and I've just been raped, am being raped. My home just taken from me. Everything in it taken from me. Unless I'd had the courage to go there and get my few little necessary things. And it's not just a question of replacing items of stuff. One's own personal things are one's own personal things. I mean, I had a home. Making it pleasant, There's a little bit of garden at the back. I've planted things there. And all of that has just been taken from me. Just on the lies of one woman. Utter, total, complete lies. I miss being able to play music. I like, a background of beautiful music in my life. Beethoven as a rule. But I had another device which was not, the software had fallen apart. It was a Microsoft one, much less expensive, but it still worked. And I could record beautiful music on it. So I had a whole sequence of beautiful music over the months recorded. And I miss that. I can still get music on YouTube, but I can't have it concurrently. So they've taken that as well. They've actually taken the Brique, that's what I call it, a rechargeable pack. That's good, man. That they can examine that. Ooh, very interesting thing. What is this thing for? Perhaps a magic thing to do naughty bad things in England. Ish. Well, how do black people respond to persecution? Actually, now here's a thought. They sing, don't they? Southern Baptists, the slave people who were enslaved. Because that's just a bit more monstrous, isn't it, than my situation. And that was the English church. The Church of England owned slaves, and they were branded up till 1807. And William Wilberforce fought for 30 years to get the slave trade abolished. And this filthy little England, it is such a filthy little country. My father left. He fought on the Somme in the First World War. He went out to Africa and ran the railways in what was then the Gold Coast, Ghana. My grandfather left. He was from Stockport, Manchester, trained at Guy's. He couldn't stand this filthy little England either. The problem for me is I have looked at the rest of the world and I've tried to settle elsewhere. All the English-speaking countries. South Africa, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America, wherever. I've physically left England and lived in France for 3 winters, Holland for another winter, Italy, another 2 winters, I think, just to get out of this filthy little country, England. My mother thought it was marvellous. It's a filthy little English country. It really is. No one likes the English. They're generally despised abroad, the French, and so on. They couldn't even win a little game of football. Ho, ho, ho. What a shame. I couldn't care less about some silly game of football. My problem now is I'm locked into, I haven't got a GP anymore. I mean, I can't do anything. I'm awaiting a big knee operation. You know, I can barely walk. And I'm meant to deal with all of this. So that has been put on hold fully, totally, completely and utterly for at least 3 months. I've got acute heart failure. I'm trying to... They won't operate if my heart isn't up to it, because dying, just have a knee operation of a heart attack, sort of not a very good plan, really. So I can't deal with that. Get a cardiologist. I can't get a cardiologist in the middle of nowhere. The whole thing is on hold. Dentist, fortunately my teeth haven't fallen apart. I haven't needed a dentist. Everything in my life. Just on the lies of one woman. I'm being very careful not to use any adjectival pronouns or her name, which I now know, because she made a site, started a site on YouTube on the 3rd of June, no less, deliberately just to make vicious, foul comments on my films, which I've reported and blocked. I've been making films for 13 years. You can't take that away from me. There they are. Beautiful films. I wouldn't make them otherwise, of me speaking of my love of God through Christ. As a Christian, that's what I do. That's my life's work. And that's all, as held as nothing. Because I'm a wild, mad creature rushing around with a great big staff, thwacking little children. Well, I'm not. Yes, I'm a big, strong chap. Yes, I can hit a polo ball in the air. I've got very good hand-to-eye coordination. I used to play a bit of polo, for what it's worth. Not a lot. Life goes on. I want to be happy. Rejoice. Not, I can see my face, it's all screwed up and twisted. This stuff hurts like hell. I am actually a very sensitive human being. It's like taking a knife and twisting it in my spirit, all of this. Paedophile. Ha! I don't think so. There he is. Let's look at David. Oh.